we are seeing a huge uptick. An uptrend has developed and shot the price up really far, which totally went against what I was thinking in the last few days. I thought it had hit a ceiling here and was going to drop, but it blew past it. So we have to accept that and figure out where it might go from here. And you have to look ahead quite a ways. The Fibonacci lines, I zoomed out here. So on the 30-minute chart, you can see the next support level that it's showing, not support level, excuse me, resistance level is at 49.69, like right here. And above that, remember I had drawn out that channel, and you can go back at my video from yesterday or the day before to see how I drew that channel, but I think I was on the 4-hour chart. Anyway, that would be like the next resistance level, and that's closer to the 5,000 mark, maybe even just a couple ticks higher than that. So that's quite a ways up there. We're sitting at 49.22 right now, so that's another almost 100 points above. So I doubt that it's going to get there in the next day or two. That may take a couple weeks, I'm thinking, depending on how fast it goes. So anyway, all that being said, we are seeing a possible loss of momentum here. We can see that on the RSI. We can see that with the lower high that it developed here. And it is uptrending, but sometimes when you see it go up that quickly in that straight of a line, it gets a little scared and then it wants to drop. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do about that yet. All right, we are still in an uptrend, like I said. So I decided at this point, since it seemed to be hesitating right there, I went long, and it did drop a little bit further. And the MACD is starting to develop this curve, and I put the cursor right here because that is the lowest low over here, and then it came down one tick above that, and that's very subtle, but it is somewhat significant. That's probably the point where people decided, I think it's going to go up from there. And if it dropped below that point, I would have gotten a lot more worried. But I'm watching it pretty close, and think it's probably going to go up from here. Okay, I ended up getting out at this. No, let's see, what did I do? I'm still in a long, excuse me. All right, so here it has gone above where I got in, and I'm watching it very closely to see what it's going to, how it's going to interact with that, the gold SMA there, because that's going to be a pretty strong resistance point at this point, even though the MACD is turning up. And you can see that it hit it, bounced down just a little bit, and then it went through it. So that was very encouraging. And I put my stop in because I figured it probably was going to go up a little bit further, and if it dropped below that point, I really did not want to be in that position. But I thought probably it was going to go up further. Okay, so I raised my stop here because it kind of formed another little low there. And I actually got stopped out. It just didn't seem to want to go up. So I'm kind of back to, it's like, okay, we're forming lower lows here. I think probably a short is a better way to go. Just waiting for an opportunity to get in. Okay, and I believe I found it right here. I got in right here, and I do think, and it could get up to that gold line. I do have my stop in because I don't want to be in it. Remember, I'm kind of trading against the trend at this point, so I want to be very cautious. And then I'm hoping to get this movement here, which is not asking a whole lot, and that's a pretty good support. I could also see it dropping down to the 49.12 level. By the end of the day, maybe 49.02. I don't know. We'll see. All right, looking promising. And it got filled. Went right down to that point, so I'm going to cancel this order here, and it bounced off of that point. But you can see the SMAs are now forming a death cross or coming up to it. It's the beginnings of kind of a loss of momentum. You might even kind of see a pennant pattern sort of developing there. But the MACD is turning up, and I bet you anything it's going to go up a little bit before it drops down. And it hit that gold line and dropped. And so I kind of missed that golden opportunity right there, but I'm going to try to get in here because it did blow past that blue SMA. So I figured, well, the momentum's probably already built in. Even though the MACD is really low again, I went ahead and started a short order here, which got filled, and it's going to go up a little bit here, probably to that mark right there, which is, sad, but I don't think I'm too worried about it at this point. And again, I put my limit order in on the 15-minute chart where the SMA is. So pretty conservative place there, but a really good trade. Okay, so we're hoping that it doesn't go up too far. The SMAs are getting closer and closer together. We had that wick jump up and probably knocked a lot of people out of that position at this point, which also helps it to drop a little bit faster. And so the MACD is looking good. I'm pretty hopeful with this trade here. But it's going to have to fight that uptrend, like I said. We're still kind of in an uptrend. We're just testing it right now. Okay, it dropped down and bounced. And the place that it bounced was right about 49.15. So that's a really important number. As you can see, this bounced again, just a couple ticks higher than that. And then it bounced again. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just get out at this point. That's not much of a movement. I really do think it's going to go down to that point, but I'm getting a little bit impatient, and it has developed this floor right through here. Every time I kind of decide it, it jumps up, and I kind of miss getting out. So I was in a little bit of a predicament here. Like, I really think it's going to drop, but it doesn't want to get past that floor right there. So I was watching, since I'm kind of more trading on the 15-minute chart with that particular order, because that's the resistance level I see there. It's just hanging out in space over here. I kind of want to keep my eyes focused on this right here. And if that last candle turns into a green one, then I'm in trouble. So I'm kind of watching that. It bounced off of that blue SMA, so that was good. And now it's dropping some more. And here I decided, yeah, I'm just going to get out. So I had an order in, I think, let's see, it got filled at 15.25. So I got filled right here. I gave up waiting for it to drop through that support right there, even though I think it probably will. But what's kind of funny is I had placed the order, and then I had grabbed it, and I was thinking about moving it somewhere else or getting rid of it even. But by the time I had made that decision, it had gotten filled. And sure enough, within a couple seconds after that, it dropped down to where I thought it was going to go all along. So it did get down to that gold SMA. I did end up making $100 on it, so I can't complain. But it's like, man, just a little bit more patience, I think, would have been good. I was just trying to be cautious. And I had gone through this whole period of frustrating non-profit mode here with a floor that I couldn't break through. So, kind of watching it now, it looks like the MACD is super duper low, and that uptrend may pull us through, and I might be able to get another good trade in here by doing a long. So I did a long position here, and hoping it gets up to that point. In fact, I even decided, yeah, why not? I think it's probably going to hit that point and drop down, so I did 2 orders right there, thinking that that would probably be a good resistance level, and then it would drop, and then I could get 2 good trades out of the deal. Sure enough, it went up to that point and got filled, and now I'm in a short, and the MACD still has some momentum yet in it. The RSI is tipping over a little bit, but kind of watching it, it's like, okay, well, I think it probably will go down to that point again and test that level. However, this may be enough to constitute a bounce off of that SMA, and it might go up pretty high from there. So I'm a little bit worried. This is looking good. Dropped down, that's looking good. All right, everything's looking really good right here. Excellent, excellent. I thought about getting out here, but again, that's not a whole lot of movement there. That's less than $100, which, you know, it would have been fine. But I was kind of hoping for this level down here. And it bounced up. And at this point, it's like, yeah, I probably should have just taken it because I'm running out of time. But, you know, if I get out here, then I've not made anything at all. And then I went up further from there and I thought, yeah, I just don't think this is going to go well. I better just get out. 337 for the day minus my commissions. That's really good profit still. This last trade, I think, just was not to be. It shouldn't have happened. So that was my trading day. Thank you for joining me.